And we are live. Welcome in. Week 5. I was going to play something to start this off, play the Factor of Sadness, play something. I needed to find something to kind of give an intro to this because I don't even know how to start. I don't even know how to speak to you guys. I don't even think yet. Give me a second. Let me gather myself. I'm not sure why I would need to. There's really not that much that needs to be thought about. You guys all watched the game. I watched, tried to watch a majority of the game. I'm really upset that I actually did because there was really no need to. This team is terrible. This team is really, really bad. The systemic issues that plague this team have carried over from week 1 to week 5. The excuses are gone. The coping is gone. The holding call. Yeah, I think that's just my favorite part is that we convinced ourselves last week that, again, even though moving from 1-2 to 1-3, now 1-4, we convinced ourselves last week that we had a shot this week. We said, this Commanders defense is that, their pass defense is really bad. They're good and it's going to be a tough game, but let's get to Sunday. Why? What are we getting to Sunday for? There's nothing to get to. The game could have not been played. They could have just handed the Commanders a win. It probably would have been better for everyone's blood pressure. It would have been better for my temper. I can tell you that, because at the end of the day, terrible football team. This football team is ass. They are. That's all I have to say. Big L. This is going to be bad. No, this isn't going to be bad at all. What we saw was already bad. This is going to be great. And I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate everybody hopping in the live stream, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on X. I appreciate you joining me. We could at least be together in sorrow. We could at least comfort each other in sadness at this very, very pivotal and important time to be a Cleveland Browns fan. Unserious. Good words. Let's say, all right. So let's make a list. Bad and unserious. 2 for 2. Chad is 2 for 2 on describing this team effectively. All right. What should we do? Should we get the hard part out of the way, or should we beat around the bush? Should we talk stats first? Should we get the hard part out of the way? I'll just get the hard part out of the way. Nobody from the team watches this show. We're not that big. It's fine. And it's not that they watch anyone's show, but it's just a reality of the situation. But I wish they did, because this is an open letter to the Haslams. Let's start with that. I'm going to call this an open letter to Jimmy and D Haslam. I don't know whose decision it was to bring in Deshaun Watson. You're never going to know. You're never going to know if Stefanski was pushing the envelope, if Andrew Berry was like, yes, we have to do this, or if the Haslams were just like, we're doing this. Nobody say anything. You better not say shit or you're losing your job, because that's a possibility. That's a reality of the situation. I think that people just have this misconception about ownerships, like, the ownership group in the NFL is cutthroat. They are. They'll get rid of you if they don't like your vision. And it's that simple. And they just extended these guys. The Haslams just extended Andrew Berry, and they just extended Kevin Stefanski. Let's put that to the side. Somebody out of those three, out of the hierarchy right there, owner, general manager, head coach, emergency meeting tonight in Northeast Ohio. I don't care if you do it in Berea. I don't care if you do it at Huntington Bank Field. I don't care if you do it. I don't care if you do it at Marble Room. I don't care where you do it. You really shouldn't be going to Marble Room, because you don't deserve to eat good tonight. You don't deserve that, because you haven't done anything this season. Okay. 1-4 losers, idiots, embarrassing. So you don't deserve the Wagyu tonight, bro. Whatever you have to do, emergency meeting, get together. Somebody has to be the adult in the room and say, look, we're going to make changes X, Y, and Z. And we're doing it tomorrow. It could be anything. I'm not even saying, oh, well, trades, trades, this and that. It doesn't even have to be trades. It could simply be benching people. It could simply be saying, hey, you're playing in this position instead of this person, player Y instead of player X. If you guys come together and you have a 2 out of 3 majority that you think Deshaun Watson should be benched, why don't you just bench him? Why? Your ego is that big? Stefanski, I don't think his ego is that big. He probably is looking dude and says, this guy sucks. He probably is pounding the table. Can we get this guy out of here? And Andrew Barry's like, nope. Because Haslam's looking at Barry going, nope. This is what kills me. What is your Jimmy and D open letter? What is your net worth? Does anybody know? Does anybody have any guesses? Let's pull it up. Jimmy and D Haslam net worth. It's high. That's all I have to say. That's basically what I know. Let me get facts and figures for you guys. We're going to break this down from a fundamental standpoint. Jimmy Haslam's net worth of June 18th of 2024 this year is $8 billion. Now, let me say one thing. People who get that rich, usually they have some sort of high functioning part about them. Obviously, if you get that rich, you're highly successful. You've done a lot. You've done well in business. You've scammed people off of rebates, whatever it may be. Maybe you're the biggest shyster around, but you're probably a hardworking individual and you might have a big ego. Your net worth is $8 billion. You don't need to have an ego about this. You were wrong. And I was wrong too. And I'll be the first person to tell you that, because I try to bring transparency to the analysis. I try to bring transparency to talking about sports. When I step out of my fandom and go into the analysis mode, I try not to be a little corny person who always thinks they're right, who will never double back and say they were wrong, and who will always say my way, my way, my way, my way. I was wrong about Deshaun Watson. Timestamp it. October 6th, 4/23, 2024. I was the first person who said it was a good move. I was the first person who said we need to move off of Baker Mayfield years ago. Even before the injury and all the other nonsense. I said we're not going to win anything with Baker Mayfield. I will say, as a caveat, I still think I'm correct there. I still think the right move was to move off of Baker Mayfield. But I said that Deshaun Watson was someone we should highly pursue. I was pissed when he didn't pick us originally. The Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. That feels like 50 years ago. That feels like 2 lifetimes ago that nonsense was even happening. Now he's ass. And that's what kills me about today. And I told people this during the week. What kills me about today is the most out of everything is that when I'm watching this game, when I'm laying eyes on this game, the Washington Commanders, they got a dude. They have Jane Daniels. That dude looks like prime Deshaun Watson. He looks like Watson right out of Clemson. If you just can't get kicked in the balls anymore. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's really immaculate. Let me get to chat here. Guardians are on tomorrow. Go Guards. Don't let us down. Please. Cavs start soon. Please. Sell the entire franchise. The Haslam should. Cut your losses and get out of Dodge before the valuation goes down any further. With this team having 1 win. Let's fix the city infrastructure and real issues. Football's not real life, bro. It's real life for them, but it's just something we do on Sundays, Thursdays, Sundays, Mondays. That's really it. Fair enough. Nick Chubb is coming back. Poor Nick Chubb, man. Nick Chubb's going to be fighting for his life. Absolutely. He can afford the Deshaun Watson dead cap. Yeah, he can. Yeah. Why don't you go ruin the Milwaukee Bucks? That's my favorite thing. Like, you own the Browns. You're some sort of minority. Maybe you're the majority owner in the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't even know. Why can't you go blow that franchise up? That would be amazing for the city of Cleveland if I didn't have to worry about playing the Bucks throughout the year and in the postseason. Why? That's just our luck. They own portions of 2 major sports franchises. They just blow up the team we root for. God forbid they can help us out in the Eastern Conference of the NBA. Nah, doesn't work like that. B Skrills, welcome on in. Welcome on in. Hit that like button. If you're going to like something today, it should be this stream, because I'm going to give you a real life opportunity to vent your frustrations in the chat. You're going to hear from me. I'm going to be transparent. I'm not going to act like a loser, even though our franchise and our team does. They even act like losers. It's not even that it's not even bad enough that they lose. They act like losers all week. Okay? Enough with the dancing. No more celebrations. You're not allowed to celebrate until we're above 500. You won't be celebrating all year. Okay? No more of this clowning, corny interview nonsense. Why am I midweek seeing Dave Njoku half naked at the podium? Glad he's back. Is this the time to be messing around? Is it all hunky-dory in there? Do we all just collect game checks and leave? Do you just show up to work, do the worst job you could possibly do, wait for the money to hit your bank account, and then leave? What's amazing is there's people that's like that, so it's really not that surprising. B Scrolls, like I said, welcome on in. Jaden Daniels on the bench, chilling in the fourth quarter like he was sipping on some yak. He could have been out there drunk. We still would have lost. He could have been out there on the Josh Gordon cocktail and hung numbers up on us. Okay? That's how bad this team is right now. You could have trotted out Marcus Mariota, and I don't even think that we would have won the game. If the Commanders would have trotted out Marcus Mariota, a ghost of the past, a former Heisman winner, I believe, in Oregon, another loser, didn't even beat Ohio State. They could have trotted him out. No disrespect to Marcus Mariota, man. I'm up in arms. I just am. They could have trotted him out, and they still probably would have won. We can't score. We can't defend. We can punt. Bojorquez is our best player. Guys, it's 2024. How many seasons have we lived in our life? And it's like our special teams is our best. The punter is our best player. Phil Dawson is our best player. It's amazing. Njoku catching a pass on play number 1, then disappeared the rest of the game too. He's got incompetence. He's got incompetence throwing to him. He's got incompetence calling play calls. And I don't even know. We're at the point where I can't even tell you who's the biggest blame, because everybody looks bad. Everybody looks terrible. And my favorite part of the whole game, second half, Commanders receive the ball. We generate a turnover, and you couldn't even display competence when they handed you the ball on the doorstep. Penalty, 12-man. Stefanski couldn't even get to a fourth down situation that was manageable because of so many miscues that we had to kick a field goal when it was 24-3 to be 24-6. I've seen high school offenses orchestrated better. I've seen Division III football programs that have more discipline, that is more on schedule than this loaf of an offensive unit. Everybody on this offensive unit is a loaf. Okay? Jedrick Wills is a loaf. Deshaun Watson, slow. The dude is slow. I don't even know how it's possible to even get as slow as he got. He used to be one of the most athletic dudes in the league. He's slow. The running backs are both loafs. Amari Cooper is a loaf. I don't like the Ravens or the Bengals, but I can honestly say this is a really good Sunday football game. I'm watching right now. And I tweeted this out. What an amazing weekend for Cleveland sports. Besides these idiots, obviously, besides these clowns, Northeast Ohio, Ohio sports, Ohio State, continues the roll. The Guardians get a 1-0 commanding series victory. They actually look like a competently run athletic baseball team. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point anymore. They actually look like they know what they're doing. It's not like it was 1-0, like, so fun, Detroit gave us 9 errors and we won the game. No, we kicked their ass yesterday. And I hope we kick their ass tomorrow, because this is all this city has left right now. This and the Cavs have 82 long games. And I don't want to get on a Cavs tangent. I really don't. But they have I have no words for them. Obviously, we're going to cover them, but I have no words for them that mean anything until the playoffs come around. That's the reality of the NBA. That's the reality of this Cavs team. What are you going to do for me in the playoffs? All right, you're the 1 seed. They could have 60, 65 wins. You better have a good showing in the postseason. To at least their credit, the Browns, we can't even get there. We can't even get to the bye week. We can't even get to week 6. Going on the road against Philadelphia, of course. Them coming off a bye week, of course. So there's going to be decisions that need to be made. And like I said, figure it out. Haslam's, Barry, Stefanski. So lock yourself in a dark and cold room somewhere in Northeast Ohio. Get off the private jets. Get off the team flights. Get your luggage. First of all, I don't even know what do you have, one checked bag? Figure it out. We don't need all this. Oh, I got to go home and I got to do this and we'll take tomorrow off and we'll regroup Tuesday. Why? Regroup Tuesday? You're 1-4. Who should be taking any time off? You guys are terrible. You guys suck. And I didn't even think it was possible to get worse than how you played the previous 4 weeks. Let's look at offensive numbers. 212 total yards today. You guys thought last week was bad? We had 241 total yards last week. 212 today. You thought the Cowboys game was bad? 230 total yards in week 1. The Cowboys lost. 212 total yards today. And you were getting blown out. You can't even get garbage time. You can't even get garbage time stats. That's how low you've fallen. You can't even run up mid-looking numbers when they're playing prevent defense, letting the running back go 6-7 yards before there's even contact. You can't even do that. Mock draft time. Jesus Christ. Can't believe I'm mock drafting in the middle. Can't believe it's the first week of October and the season's lost on you. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Player only meeting worked wonders. Did they have a player? Did somebody say they had a player only meeting this week? If you had a player only meeting this week and that was the product that was produced after the player only meeting, you got the wrong players. You do. You have the wrong players. It's amazing. Derek, it's a damn joke. I think the saddest part is that this city is just cursed. And I hate that word. I do hate that word, but I think it's true at this point. This city is just cursed with expectations. When there's high expectations on any of these franchises, good luck. Good luck. You might as well just blow up the team if you think you have high expectations for them. I mean, look around. Who thought that the Guardians were going to have the record they did and be in a playoff situation and have a home playoff series before the season started? Nobody. Basically nobody. Maybe a couple outliers. Rookie manager, rookie skipper, pretty young squad, not a huge payroll, didn't really go out and make any flashy offseason moves, did all your internal stuff like they always do. 1-0. 1-0 in the ALDS. Like clockwork with that franchise. So I can commend them, and at least I could have them to look forward to tomorrow at 4:10. Because this is just sad. This is just embarrassing. This is just a total 180 from what you saw last year. And part of me wants to just get on here and get on my normal soapbox and defend Kevin Stefanski up and down, which based on last year's data and him being able to win with as many different quarterbacks he won with last year, I wish I could do that, but I have to refrain because this is one of the most unprepared and undisciplined football teams I've watched play in a while. The penalties, They can't even figure out how many guys are on the field, bro. They can't even like count and be like, oh, we're in a formation where we have one too many guys out here. It's absolutely amazing. Beast Grills, we know you're an absolute sharp 80 or 82 wins. Love it. Browns were scared to make a move for Derrick Henry and fumble the 49ers trade. It is effing pathetic. That's my thing tomorrow. What happens in Berea tomorrow? Amari Cooper moved off, but here's the thing. You can't show up tomorrow, pull all these strings, make all these moves, and then tell me that the systemic issues that have plagued this team through 5 contests is just magically gone. Okay? And I don't think they're going to bench the $230 million quarterback, like I said, because personally, I think the Haslam's ego is just way too big. They're never gonna admit when they're wrong, and that's something that plagues a lot of franchises, especially in this city. I could go on about how just because you want to be right about your guys, being right about your guys at the expense of the team means you're not a good owner or you're not a good general manager. Congratulations. Really good job. I'm very happy. The fans have their own agendas, push their own narratives, have their guys there like they want to do good, have guys that in the back of their mind like, yep, hope this guy sucks. Hope he's terrible today. And you know what? That really doesn't have a whole lot of sway in the organization. It just doesn't. Because, there's thousands, millions, hundreds of thousands of fans, and there's only one general manager, there's only one owner, there's only one head coach, and there's only a handful of decision makers that really have anything to do with the outcome of how the team performs. And when you perform so badly, you only have so many people to look to. Okay? And good job with your offseason moves. Jerry Jeudy looks like a waste of money. Ken Dorsey is Alex Van Pelt 2.0. Just stands there. He does nothing. We have no idea what he does. You apparently had all these offensive issues on the offensive line. Maybe you didn't even know about them, but at least you couldn't even anticipate that it was going to be this bad. You don't do anything to address it there. You run it back with Jerome Ford, and you signed Deontay Foreman and Naheem Hines. You have gone 5 weeks without Nick Chubb, which is obviously to be expected. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when you don't do anything to address needs and then the team is not good? And I could get over the personnel whiffs if we looked prepared, if we didn't have penalties, if the intangibles were not a shit show. I could get past the lack of personnel. And that's how the sport works. If you're a disciplined, organized, prepared, and on-time football team, you can win with a lot of below-average personnel. That's how the NFL is. It's a game of inches. They'll fire Dorsey as scapegoat. They could blast Dorsey into the sun. I don't think anyone is even going to care. I would love to know what percentage of Browns fans even know he's the offensive coordinator. I'd like to do a man on the street, talk to 100 people who claim to be Browns fans, say, hey, question number 1, can you name the offensive coordinator for our football team? And when like 60, 70% of them look at me or like, Kevin Stefanski calls the plays. He needs to give that shit up. That's what 60% of them would say. 60 to 70% of them, that's what they would say. Who even knows who Ken Dorsey is? What did Alex Van Pelt do the last 4 years, 5 years? Nothing, zero. It's the Stefanski show. It's a Stefanski run offense. It's amazing, and I'm sick of getting clowned. I'm sick of people just sending me messages, just the subtle little jabs like, oh, this and that, and the Browns, they're so good, and they're good job with the Browns, 1-4, basement of the AFC. I'm sick of it. I think the fan base is over it. I think the fan base deserves better than one playoff win since 1999 for the last 25 years. I'm pretty much at a loss for words. 1-4. You're on the road next week in Philadelphia. I just feel bad. I just feel bad for the people in on this roster who the majority of their career have been really good football players, and we're just burning their prime. That's what actually makes me genuinely a little bit sad, a little bit upset. And I'm not talking about guys who have had one good season. I'm not talking about guys who have had one, good run of games. I'm not talking about guys who've made plays here and there. I'm talking about Myles Garrett. I'm talking about Denzel Ward. I'm talking about another Hall of Fame, likely could be Hall of Famer, potential offensive lineman in Joel Bitonio. Two generations of Browns offensive linemen in a row. Joe Thomas, Joel Bitonio, wasted nothing. One playoff win combined between the both of them. I'm talking about Nick Chubb, who's been a beast since he stepped on the field in a Cleveland Browns uniform, who loves the city, who wants to play for us, who gives it his all, and has been a great player indefinitely since he started his career with us. I'm talking about guys like that. I'm talking about the people who show up to work, do their job every day, don't say anything. I'd be running Nick Chubb after touchdown plays. What if just the camera on him after he scores touchdowns for his whole career, how he just runs and gives the ball to the referee. That's what I'd be showing all week this week. Just to be like, hey, look, you could be humble and play this game. And you should be humble because you've been humbled for 5 straight weeks. You've been really bad. You've been really bad all year. Even the game you won, you were not very good. You were average. And it just happened that Jacksonville is maybe the one team in the league who's worse than you. And then we could maybe go from there. I'd be irate, up in arms if I was his coaching staff. If I was Mike Vrabel, I'd be in the building chewing everyone out all week. All week. And we'd be practicing tomorrow too. Absolutely. We'd be doing something tomorrow. No off days. What do you need an off day for? You haven't even done anything for an off day. Did you even play a game today? Did you even go out there and try? You're 1-4. What do you need an off day for? Off days are for good teams. Off days are for people who do their job consistently at a high level. Okay? You don't need an off day. Every Sunday for the last month has been an off day. Okay? You guys have had plenty of rest. Figure it out. And I would just put this up in the locker room. Don't get blown out. Don't let the Eagles blow you out. That's what I put up in the locker room because the goal has shifted. The goal has gone from compete in the AFC. This is your top of the line goal. Compete in the AFC. That got knocked down. All right. Play good football and win some games. That just got knocked down again for a second and third time to, okay, don't be embarrassing. I'm absolutely disgusted. I don't have anything else to say besides the fact that I do appreciate every single one of you for being here. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're sharing this with your friends. I hope that maybe we could vent some frustrations together. If we didn't today, moving forward, maybe throughout the rest of this week. And yeah, this team's sad. That's what I have to say to describe this team right now. It's just sad. And I'm just hoping it gets a little bit better. But with that being said, appreciate you being the pulse of it all. Peace.